Oh, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and welcome. It's Nurse Richard, or good night if you're off to bed. It's Nurse Richard, the Wax Wizard. Thanks for joining me. I've really spoiled you today. There are 6 ears in this one today. That's right, 6 ears. And instead of teasing you with save the best till last and all that palaver, I've put the most interesting ones at the start of this procedure and the more lengthy one. But it was a fascinating thing that we found in this one. There's a chap who came to see me who'd, I think he had it done in the past, but not for a long while. And the first ear was relatively straightforward, quite a hairy one this. You do get to see it does become a bit clearer, obviously after these have come. But the first one there, the first wax baby safely delivered, pops out without too much of an argument.
Less magnified, which it might be.
There she comes. Slowed it down again, if you can tell. So if you can hear my voice in the background, or the gentleman's voice, it might start going a bit lower and sounding a bit odd. But yeah, I think you appreciate it coming out a bit slower, so that's what I do it every now and then. If I've whipped it out too fast, which I sometimes do. Sometimes the patient can't wait for me to get it out and then present it to them and show it to them in a big ta-da moment. So as soon as they can feel I've took it out, a lot of them turn around like that, despite me having 2 sharp implements right next to them, which I tell them not to. And this is the one that we found a problem in. I just cut away then, I had to stop right there. And the reason was, he kept moving away from me. Now a lot of people do this when you're already in someone's ear and they can hear a noise. Because there is a bit of noise in this procedure, as you can hear, because we leave the sounds on. He was slowly moving away from me like this. I'm chasing him across the chair. So I just had to stop and say, listen, I can't reach you anymore. You've moved all the way, and he was leaning on the other side of the chair. I didn't even know he was doing it. A lot don't. It's a completely subconscious thing that a lot of people do. Yeah, I'm always chasing them across the chair like this. Maybe I should get one of them ones with like a head restraint in there, so they can't do that. I have thought about that, but I don't know. It seems a bit too much like the electric chair. It's actually a barber's chair, the one that I use, or hairdressers. I don't know if you call them barbers wherever you are, but it's a barber's chair. Didn't want it to look too medical. You know, people get a bit scared if they see these big long beds that rise up and down. So yeah, it's just a straightforward hairdresser's chair. Have a look at this that came out of here. Now you see just underneath it, and this is why I've slowed it down, you'll see afterwards, quite soggy underneath there. Now why is that soggy? Now that will become clear in a minute as soon as we get this out. And again, a bit soggy down here as well. So we'll lift that out first, and you'll instantly see underneath there's a bit suspicious down there. I've gone to the fine end tube here because I had a feeling what I was going to find here. Bit of an intuition, but you generally know if you've done it for long enough. So you can't see the problem yet. I'm just peeling away this so we can get a right good look at what it is we've found. And I found so many anomalies and problems as you've probably seen in loads of my videos. Found so many weird and wonderful things recently. Whether they just end up on my doorstep because they know I'm better at finding them because I use endoscopes here, I don't know. You just have a bit of a twitch then. And you can see, can't you, the floor of the ear canal there, very soggy this bit. You can also see it's a little bit pinky and red there. You know, whether there's a bit of granulation tissue there it's been irritated, and it's granulation tissue. It's new tissue that forms in response to some trauma. Normally it's got its own blood supply, and you can already see peeling away that soggy macerated is the word for extremely wet. That's why it's white. You know, when you're in the bath too long and your little pinkies turn white, it's the same. It's because it's got very wet, and it's got very wet there, possibly because there may have been an infection, there may still be in this area, but you can quite clearly see what it's done there. It's eroded away the floor of the ear canal. Complete surprise to us both, to be honest. No symptoms at all. I'll be honest, very few people do have any sensations or symptoms when you have things like this. It did feel it a little bit as I was trying to just tidy up these edges here to get a bit of a better look.
You have there.
But yeah, that's eroded through to the bone on the floor of the ear canal. So what's the cause of that? Actually, have a look right now. Can you just see? And that was without us touching it. It just spontaneously started bleeding there. Now that's not because of what we've done to it. It's because of when we've removed this plug from it. You know, there's obviously been some fresh granulation tissue there that's obviously ruptured as it's been pulled away, and it's been filling up, and all of a sudden it started bleeding. It didn't bleed more than that. That was it. And we just left it at that point. You know, that will dry up. I'm not entertaining going in there and hoovering up a microscopic amount of blood. That will just dry up and just form a little crust, and it'll work its way out eventually. But obviously I've referred that gentleman to ear, nose and throat to get that looked into for the possibility of certainly maybe the beginnings of a canal cholesteatoma. The last 4, I think you've already missed the first 2, haven't we? That I've been rabbited on. I told you I hadn't saved the best till last. The best was first this time. 2 really quick, straightforward, simple ones. And the next 2 are pretty straightforward as well, but extremely slimy and sloppy. But they came out pretty quickly. This lady, she'd absolutely oiled it to death. As you can see, this wasn't me who put this in. This was the patient in a vain attempt to try and get it out herself, which is why it's obviously very blurry. And that's the old equipment I was using actually, and I don't know if you can tell the difference actually, because I've got both sets of monitors used in this. The monitor on the endoscope that we record these videos from. The first procedure you saw, that was with the newer one. These last 4 are with the older one. So you can probably tell the difference. Don't get me wrong, you can still get decent images on the older one. You've just got to work a bit harder for it sometimes, fiddling about with everything. So that little sloppy one dealt with. And let's get the last sloppy one. Don't forget, if you do enjoy these, then feel free to subscribe or follow to the channel. I would appreciate it. Or if not, can't bother doing that, then just press the button underneath it that says like. That's all you've got to do, just to show your appreciation. And it gets these videos seen by more people. I would appreciate that. Just tidying up these last little bits here. A lot of this is just remnants of the oil, to be honest. It's not essential. We just get a little bit of remnants there. And a lovely looking eardrum at the end of that. So I hope you enjoyed that. Found it interesting. If you did, leave us a comment. Let's have a chat in the comments. But for now, take care of yourself and I'll see you soon. Ta-da.